The following broadcast is a Nighthawk Network presentation. What's going on, good people? Your boy E-Buck is here. Feeling a little better than yesterday. Sound a little better than yesterday.
Look better.
Just thankful that I'm here at all. That being said, we are here doing the show known as the Guru Sports Session. Can't do that show without me sometimes, but definitely not without this guy. That would be Hugh Lee. What's up, Hugh?
What's going on? You everything going, man?
Well, you already know what's going on this end of the spectrum. I'm just battling through. What about
Definitely
you?
looking better though, man. Definitely happy for you.
All right. So without further ado, what we talking, man?
I want to start off with, I don't really want to talk a lot about NBA because you know how I feel about the in-season tournament. I say I don't even know why they even had that existed. But it was some pretty good highlights and stuff going on around the league yesterday from the in-season tournament. The main thing I wanted to discuss and talk about was the Splash Brother reunion, man. I thought that was actually pretty cool to see. But one thing I liked about it, too, is the competitiveness out of the two guys, man. Clay definitely got a warm reception. We knew he was, man. I feel like the way he went out, I can't even say it was bad or it was something like shame on Golden State because we talk about this for a while now. He definitely all last year. For the last couple years before he went to the Dallas Mavericks, man, Clay haven't been playing, man. He's been hurt. And he's been more injured on his last contract in Golden State than he has been healthy. And when he was playing, he wasn't playing at a high caliber due to the fact that, I think he was in his feelings about them not giving him an extension. But think about, man, you had 2 years and you've been injured and they're going to give you another, contract. No, that's not going to happen, man. I didn't think that they was. And you know what's so crazy about it, though, man? The way Buddy Hill's been playing, man. Buddy been stepping up his game, man. They gave him that freedom to do the things that Clay did, and he never looked better, man. Hell, I think Golden State right now is 9-2, one of the best records in the league right now. But I want to know how long that's going to last and how the chemistry going to continue with them. But it was good to see Clay being competitive in a good game with the Dallas Mavericks against his old team, the Golden State Warriors. But we all know how that ended yesterday, though, man. Steph being Steph, man. When he cook, he going to cook.
All right, people. First of all, in-season tournament, boring. They had trouble selling it to us last year. I don't even think they're trying to sell it to us this year. Let's be honest.
I didn't even know it was going on until I looked up here and I seen them weird looking courts like, the in-season tournament.
That's my point. Remember, you already battling NFL and NCAA football this time of year, not to mention basketball is back on the NCAA and the men's and the women's on the college side. Y'all going to have to do something to promote this a little better if y'all want us to buy into it. I'm sorry. And the creative floors and whatnot, yuck. Yuck.
Was so funky, man. It was some crazy stuff going on. Who was that dude who bodied Giannis yesterday? That was the best. That was the dunk of the year so far. Oh my God. That dude, hey, you ain't had to do Giannis like that. I done seen Giannis do people like that, but I never seen Giannis get bullied like that, man. From a dude, who is he?
I have no idea.
Did you see that?
Yeah, basically, if y'all guys go on YouTube, you'll see exactly what you're talking about. Matter of fact, just put Giannis dunked on in TikTok, and several TikToks have been made, music and all. So that's just how outlandish it was. But anyway, back to the Splash Brother reunion game. Here's the thing, good people. They didn't say, Clay, you got to go. They just said, Clay, we're not paying you, but so much. You can stay or you can go. Clay said, I'm worth more. I know my worth. I'm out. So understand that it's still much love in the building for Clay. in terms of his teammates and whatnot. Even though your boy Draymond was talking ish about some things that was said behind the scenes, some about he the ops or something. You have to watch Clay's podcast. He'll break it down. But nonetheless, they got along pretty good last night, all in all. But yeah, when all is said and done, Clay, you a Hall of Famer. We know that. But what you ain't is that guy. That guy is Steph Curry. And he had to let you know, bruh, you done messed up. Because we over here and we still cooking without you, bruh.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you inspiring us to do better. See that dude, Buddy? Buddy doing what you couldn't, all right? Yeah. Meanwhile, can't feel bad for Clay. Clay got more money. And Dallas ain't no punks, mind you.
No.
They had a winning record over there, and they playing relatively well. It's just y'all thought Golden State was done. Surprising. They looking real good. Real good. And unlike most of the teams in the NBA right now, they healthy.
We questioned at first, like, what Buddy Hield was they going to get in Golden State? Because, we seen that 76er Buddy Hield, and he wasn't worth a damn.
I'm going to tell you what, Hugh, this ain't no Buddy Hield that none of us know. This the best Buddy Hield we done ever seen.
Ever, man. He's on a better level than when we start to really see who he was out of college, man. I've been really proud of that team, how they stepped up. They already had a good nucleus, man, but just Buddy Hield coming in and fitting right along, man. That's still a dangerous team, man. The people need not to get that twisted.
Remember, basically, Oklahoma Buddy Hield was just a shooter, pretty much. Much like how back in the day, remember the Lakers coach? Remember that dude? Once upon a time, he was a player at Duke, and all he did was pretty much shoot threes. But then one day, he got in the gym and got it together. Then suddenly, Orlando had a shooter on their hands. They had a scorer, and that went on from Philly and such and such. I think it's the same story here with Buddy Hield. He got to the league like, you know what? Let me step my game up and show them what I'm really good at. And here's right now, the beneficiaries, Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, he's been on a whole nother level, man. Been really good to see him play too. It was funny because I think the one thing that wasn't going to get a great reception was a man shooting a 3-pointer and doing the shimmy. Klay Thompson, that's when my man Steph had to get him, and they asked him after the game how he feel about it. It was all jokes, but he said, "Yeah, man, you know better than that, man. Do my celebration after you shoot a 3." It was kind of a slap in the face, but I know Steph didn't care because Steph was cooking yesterday, and then he got the last laugh, of course.
And he put him with the night. You know what it was, but yeah, I imagine it's gonna be fun every time they play this season. So that's just one game of the 4 that they end up playing at least. So why not? And the thing that'll be interesting is what happens if those two teams meet in the playoffs. That's when it'll get really interesting.
I really want to see that, but like you said, it's not really too much to talk about in the NBA. I was definitely glad that.
Yeah, that's where I gotta disagree with you, bro. Mm-hmm. There is the one major story in the NBA right now.
What's up?
Can't nobody stay healthy, bro.
Oh, come on!
Every day, somebody out for extended, and we talking about the superstars, people.
You heard that my man's gonna be out this next game too, and then they really is taking exception to that too. And they said about Joel Embiid, he definitely gonna take every other game off, and they were saying it was like a back strain or something like that. It's BS, man. But yeah, it's been a lot of guys who haven't been really themselves and playing up to the caliber that we thought they would. Paul George was kind of banged up still, and yeah, it's just crazy, man. I think a lot of them guys need to, get with LeBron or whatever his workout is, man. Because I even think that AD got hurt. Remember, he hurt his eye. He had like an eye injury, and there's a possibility that he don't play. But yeah, I've been upset seeing a lot of that. But it's been a lot.
Right. I mean, basically every other team you can think of, one of their major superstars is out. You got Zion in New Orleans. You got Milwaukee stay having somebody on the injured list. We know this.
Last I heard, my man's Porter was kind of banged up.
Exactly. I mean, it's like we ain't even a good month in, and we already got people that may not even make enough games to get the MVPs. Because you remember the requirement now, you got to have at least 65 games in be considered for the postseason awards, and they may have to change that rule.
Yeah, because there's too many injuries. And it's like, man, it's like you can't just say, oh man, they're purposely not trying to play. They are. They're just getting hurt, man. This has been as many injuries down there as football, man. And it's only been like the first few weeks. And yeah,
Right. And you know, and it goes back to one of those conversations that's been had on the side, particularly I'm talking about with Kevin Garnett, where basically it was like, it's not that back when they were playing, people wasn't getting hurt like this. It's just they was playing through that shit.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot more players playing through it than, not, man. And I believe a lot of it you got to blame on Greg Popovich, man. Remember when he used to rest players in that San Antonio move, man, that just spread it like wildfire.
He is the person that started rest management for all intents and purposes. So yeah, I get that.
But yeah, man, because when I seen that in-season tournament, I was like, dang, man, what is it? I'm really going to be a purpose of, I hate it, but hopefully they hurry up and get that over with and get to the real basketball.
That is real basketball. Those games do count, sir. It's just we don't care.
Not at all.
We just don't care.
Why would I want to be an in-season champion when I'm
right?
not
And
winning the championship at the
that
end?
Part. And I really hope they're not charging no extra money or nothing like that for those games. I really hope that ain't going on.
The one good thing, though, I could say, even though Tyler Hero went off yesterday, man, the Pistons still won, man. And think about them 2 games they lost at the buzzer, man. They could be 6-4 right now, man. And,
say what you will, my Pistons still suck, but at least they scrappy with it.
That's what I'm saying, man. We kind of figure they're not going to be as good this year, but like you said, man, they have more pride. It seems like, Tobias Harris and that Hardaway Jr. injury looked pretty nasty yesterday, man. But other than that, man, they've been playing with pride, man. And you can see now Malik Beasley and a lot of the guys on the team, man, you can tell they put in more effort. And I think it was because of Bickerstaff, man, and what he brings to the table with that team, his old school mentality and just, him holding them accountable, finally.
I think what he's getting them to buy into is they believe they could win. Not necessarily talented enough to do so. We'll get into some of those teams when we get to talk NFL, but they believe it's in the realm of possibility. Like I said, if we get 10 more wins than last year, I'm good with this season. I can't even trip. Because you see, when it comes to certain nights, we ain't got the talent. We
not at all. Don't play defense, and it's just all.
Even when we do, certain teams, we just can't do nothing with.
That talent just ain't there. Nobody wanted me to come here, man. At the time when we was winning, people wanted to come here, but as a losing culture and what we've been going through lately, man, and that's when you hear the talking here saying, man, we don't deserve this and we deserve better. But then until we can get better, man, right now we stuck with what we got.
Already, we didn't give them too much press as it was. Let's move on.
I want to talk about the college football, man, and like you said, man, when it comes to college now, I'm not sold on Indiana because Indiana didn't look too good. It's a possibility that Michigan just basically lost that game versus Indiana winning. It was a wreck.
That's exactly what it was. It was exactly that, Hugh. I've been saying it all season. This Big Ten just ain't no good football league this year. It's not. It really ain't. We got Ohio. I almost said that nastiness. And we got Oregon and that team down south, and everybody else just kind of here.
Yeah, because I wasn't, impressed with none of the performances, man. I didn't like Curtis Rourke, and I didn't care too much about Davis Warren or anybody who played. I just said, man, I looked in and checked and seen what happened with the game, but then you were saying that you wasn't really impressed with Indiana. You said they were either going to play like at a high level or they was going to stink it up and play down the Michigan level, and that's what the game basically looked like.
Sorry, after all the butt whoopings we did dished out to Indiana over the years, and we supposed to be that squad this year, they owed us an old-fashioned, big old double can of whoop ass, and they couldn't even pull it off.
Not at all. That just speaks volumes in Indiana and how bad that team is. And like you say, a lot of the teams.
Best thing they did was have the crowd show up because, most years in Indiana, by the time the game was over, half the crowd was blue.
And it was weird.
At least they had people show up this year.
Because I looked at that and I was like, man, Indiana just basically don't fit, man. Eventually, they will fall off. And I'm just waiting for that time to happen. And Yeah, because like you said, man, Penn State, a lot of them teams in the Big Ten, and it seems like every time a big Penn State get a big challenge or it's a good team that they got to play in the top 10, they always fold. And so I'm still expecting a lot of teams to do what they do when the time is right. But
I mean, keep in mind, for y'all who love Penn State or Indiana, it's okay. They basketball schools. They'll get theirs when basketball get here.
man, another game that I saw that kind of surprised me too, and that was the first one of the morning games. And I text you like, man, what happened? We said that game was going to be close, but I didn't think Miami was going to lose to Georgia Tech, man. I knew that Georgia Tech had a good defense. Offense was not too bad, but it was one of them games where Miami couldn't shake off the rust, and it got to the point to where we said eventually they were going to lose because of how close their games was, and finally it happened.
You know what that mean, right?
What was that?
It was a trap game, baby. And they got caught in the trap. Plain and simple. They got caught in the trap. And when you good like that, you start to believe in yourself. You start to feel yourself. And then that one team come in there and it's like, yeah, they think we some type of joke. They think they're about to run over us. We got something to show them. We ain't no punks. And that's exactly what happened in that game. Miami got caught in the trap, baby.
And they punched them directly in the mouth too, man. Cam Ward had a good game too. He had 300.
Remember, we were saying that Tech game wasn't gonna be no blowover like some people thought it was.
Yeah, it was crazy too, man. Because when they basically was holding them, man, and they held them to that loss, I was like, wow, man. But then this whole year has been crazy, and that's what I like, man. Because the upset alerts this year has been really good, and you wouldn't even expect something.
Let me just ask you in the audience one simple question. Week 10 or 11 in the season, we not only don't know for sure who making the playoffs, can you say without a doubt you definitely know who winning the playoff right now?
No.
I cannot either.
It's definitely up for grabs. Because like I said, man, even though Oregon winning, I'm still not really impressed with Dylan Gabriel, man. He had like 2 good games that I've seen mostly out of the season.
That's the thing. Quarterback play this year, most teams have just got decent. You know what I'm saying? It's a few exceptions. You got Texas and Muir. Well, hell, Texas got 2 quarterbacks, truthfully. Then, of course, we already know what's going on in Colorado. We'll talk about them in a minute. And Dart, he look all right for Ole Miss, but for the most part, most of these quarterbacks, okay. Yeah.
Oklahoma versus number 24, Mizzou. That one was actually I thought that I thought Oklahoma was gonna make it a challenge at one point, which they did, make it interesting, but Oklahoma is still Oklahoma right now, man. They're one of them teams, one of the main teams we thought that wasn't going to succeed and do what they do, because usually they'll come off and they'll start off maybe 3-0, 4-0, and then they just finally go to a full collapse.
I mean, Big 12 football, you pretty much know what you're getting. Either it's going to be a high-scoring affair and not much defense, or it's going to be one of them games where it's like, yeah, we don't kind of like y'all. I don't kind of like y'all. Let's get busy. This was a little bit of both of those. It was a little bit of that, a little bit of this.
They better start getting used to that SEC type treatment, man, because they can't play like that no more. Definitely in the division they in, so they're gonna have to wake up, man.
True.
Well, man, how do you feel about Florida State, man? They just embarrassed themselves that last game.
I told you, man. We already know what's going on with Florida State. They just waiting for the dominoes to fall, baby.
But 52-3 though, man, come on, man.
They wait for, because we already know Florida State, they got everything they need except for the one thing they need. They got the money. They got that big old melting pot of football down there in Florida to choose from. They got the campus that's just off this word. I mean, some people, they go to Florida State and get recruited just on being on campus. You ever been to Florida State? I haven't, but I've seen the pictures. Yeah. But in the end, they just need somebody to bring it all together. And the coach they got right now, he ain't it. You already know it's just a question of when they getting rid of him. And at that point, you already know what the short list is. And you know who number 1 is on that short list.
Coach Prime. They want that man to come home.
And hey, you think Colorado looking out? Not like Florida State will.
You know, E-Man, in this game, we both agreed that we thought that the team would win, but number 11 Alabama versus number 15 LSU, we didn't think it was going to be that way. We didn't think it was going to be like that. I'd be lying to you if I told you that Alabama just was going to go there in Death Valley and blow them out like that. Remember what I texted you?
You know what that means, right?
What's that?
Yeah, they tapped. They tapped out early in that game.
You know, remember when I texted you when that game was going on? Remember what a message I told you? Like, man, because my boy, I guess my man's Chuck don't understand that 90% of my family, besides for me and my dad and my family and my mom, when we moved to Michigan, we were all based in Alabama. So when he showed me that information, what LSU said, and they were saying, suck that tiger. And, and I was like, whoa, I showed him like, yo, man, my family from Alabama, man. I said, check this. I understand you showing me that, I guess, for a laugh. I said, but nah, man, I take that personal, man. And I erased that message. Then when I seen the game, I said, yeah, I ain't expect for Alabama to beat them down like that. I said, but they got the message loud and clear when they said what they were saying. And Pat McAfee hyped them up to get their ass beat, man, in a major way.
Well, that's already a tight rivalry game as it is. But when you threw all that on the doggone chalkboard, yeah, that just made it like, okay, all right, I see what it is. Yeah, it's on. And even still, they dealt with it professionally because keep in mind, in the Coach Saban era, if that would have happened, yeah, not only is we going to whoop your monkey ass, we're going to keep running the score up until we feel like we don't feel like scoring no more.
And then if Coach Saban still was there, man, he wouldn't have let them got that cheap touchdown. And then the game at the end really was 42-6. It was 13 seconds left, and then they ended up getting that last touchdown. I guess that was a moral victory, like we say nowadays.
But it really wasn't, because at that point they had to back up saying, quit playing.
Yeah.
The water boy was that linebacker. Stop.
And like you said, man, I believe that game showed me right there what you said. You can't make Melrose what he's not. Let Melrose be Melrose. And when they did that, man, he proved that he could be that guy, man. I mean, 185 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. They couldn't stop that dude. They need to stop trying to make him be who he's not and let him be who he is. And I believe that helped them win that game as bad as it did too in that huge blowout victory.
And I really thought about it, Hugh. If you put that dude in the right system and give him time to develop, he might be all right in the NFL. He just might. What?
I definitely couldn't even say he wouldn't eat, because he's a big physical body. He's quick, but at the same time, when he throw the ball, he got some nice zip on that ball too.
That he does.
He just needs to be disciplined, get his footwork and everything together. Right. And then his quarterback coaches out there who wouldn't mind working out with a guy like that, a physical specimen.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they didn't already put in a card Carson Palmer, no doubt.
Yeah, that's all I think he would need to just get a little polish. But yeah, man, I definitely in that game. I usually don't get impressed a lot by them this year, man. But that game actually impressed me, though. And I was
like I said last week, have some faith in your team. I mean, based on what we're looking at in terms of the playoffs, they still very much in.
Yeah, alive and well. And I've seen that schedule, man. And remember when we was talking about even if they lost 3 losses, they were saying now, and it makes sense now, what you said. I had to even dissect what you said. They lost to a top 25 ranked team in Vanderbilt. They lost to a top 10 team in Tennessee. And then if they play for the championship and lose to Texas, you don't really keep them out?
Nope. So I didn't think you blew out that game, which they wouldn't, but still. I mean, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Remember, we got the 5 major conferences, but in the end, it's going to be weighted. You losing in the Big Ten and the SEC going to hit different than you losing anywhere else. Agreed. That's why we're looking at 12 teams. It's going to be at least 4 teams, SEC, 4 teams from the Big Ten, and everybody else, y'all figure that thing out.
And that's crazy too, because now when you look at it, man, remember I was telling you, man, it's going to happen. How they got the NFC, AFC. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be Big Ten, SEC. Ain't gonna be nothing else in between.
And it's like we said before, Hugh, I think it's gonna be a whole new ball game in the end. We're gonna have them two conferences by themselves doing what they do, and then everybody else doing what they do. And then when everybody else get done, have a little championship, and then they'll take on the winner of the big boys. I think that's how it's gonna eventually end up.
Definitely seem that way.
There's gonna be a lot of money in there somewhere.
We're gonna talk about your homeboys right now. Before I do, man, surprisingly, man, E, that's why and I appreciate this coming from you, man, and I start doing that more now. I know you've been seeing that. I've been advertising a lot more about the show on my page and different, social media platforms. Big ups to my homegirl Stephanie, man. I'm gonna tell you, E, man, and it surprised me, man. This is like my little sister, man. And I was shocked when she said this today. That's why I said, man, you can't judge a book by its cover. You got to make sure when you're doing this type of stuff like podcasts, you got to make sure that you put it out there so everybody can know. E, man, you know what the hell she told me today, man, before I was going to aqua therapy? When I let her listen to a podcast recently that I did, she was like, do y'all talk about college football? I said, huh? I was like, what are you coming at? What do you mean? She said, Hugh, I love college football. I watch that more than the pros. And she said, I want y'all to talk more about college football. So, I laughed. I said, man, me and
as you see, it's already set up in the system. I mean,
I said me and my big bro E-Buck, man, we do a show every Wednesday. And I said, I know you're gonna probably be asleep because you got to get to work in the morning. I said, but I'm gonna definitely start sending you every show because that's basically all we talk about. We talk about, basketball and, everything else, college, pros. But yeah, I told her we definitely talk about college football.
Yep. And definitely I want to shout out some of our new viewers and listeners of late. I mean, because remember, Hugh, all these things pay off. As you know, some of these shows will now play on not only my platform here, his platform over there, but also on WAHR Atlanta Hot Radio. They will be getting the audio versions of this show. Also, we'll be playing some of that on the Nighthawk Network radio as well. So between all those platforms, if you can't listen to it at that point, you always go back and try to view it later on our YouTube channels and whatnot. We still working out some of those things also, but we do appreciate y'all checking in. And as we said, if there are things that you want us to talk about more, by all means, hit us up on our messengers and whatnot, and we definitely will incorporate them into the show.
Because when she said that, I said that's basically some of the main stuff we talk about, and wanted to share that with her. But I was like, man, that's why I'm glad I've been doing a lot more networking, man, and trying to get people more involved, because now that she know that, I know that that's something that she'll be looking forward to. Speaking of, I want to talk about one of her favorite teams, a team that I used to be like, man, are they really real? And they proved to me they're definitely the real deal. Number 20, Colorado, the Buzz versus Texas Tech.
Now, you know I've been on you about Colorado all year, bro.
Yes, sir.
When you basically wanted to sweep them in the back room, and I told you.
I believe you, E. Remember when I said, do you believe?
Yeah.
I believe.
Now you believe. All right.
Yep, I believe.
That's what's up.
I mean, Sador had 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. And you know how hostile that environment was, man. It didn't rattle them. That's what I was talking to Stephanie about. I said, man, do you see how unfazed they are and how the people be cursing and calling them everything except for a child of God, and they still go out there and they perform. They were throwing tortillas on the field, wasn't they? Something crazy.
Ability reflects leadership. Y'all remember that from Remember the Titans? Y'all remember that particular line? Yeah, when you look at your Sanders, no matter what's going on out there, he ain't tripping. You'll see your boy Travis Hunter like, man, give me the ball, nah. And Shador like, yeah. When your leader ain't panicked, no matter what, it's kind of hard for you to feel like, okay, yeah, what? Oh, he said we got it then. Let's do this.
Man, that boy been razor sharp, man. And like you said, well, they might cancel each other out, man. And I understand and I love my man's Hunter. Travis Hunter, but damn, man, you can't ignore what that man Ashton Genting doing, man. That dude, remember I was telling you, that dude got 1,700 yards in this only 9 games.
They both impressive. I mean, when you look at basically, it don't seem to matter who Boise State play, he getting his. I mean, it's 8 in the box, 9 in the box, and he's still powering his way up out the box, okay? But then again, You done played football just like I had. Imagine full tilt, full speed, all game, no rest, offense and defense, and special teams, all game, every game.
That's impressive,
Ain't too many
man.
people able to do that, let alone do it to that degree of difficulty.
Because he had like damn near 10 yards per catch in that game, man. He had
We talk about somebody that could potentially be an All-American at cornerback and wide receiver.
Yeah. You got to give that man credit where credit is due, man. A lot of people been hating on him, man, and saying that they don't think that he'll be able to play both in the NFL. But then,
no doubt in my man, he can do it. No doubt.
Hey, it's a fact that he can do it, man.
And like I say, he got the endorsement of one of the greatest to ever do it last week when Charles Woodson said, "Oh yeah, I seen. Ain't no doubt in my mind he could do it. I could have did it if I wanted to, and I believe that as well."
Yeah. I definitely believe so. I definitely been proud of them brothers, man. But they beat the crap out of them Texas Tech and all that crazy. That was a house.
And you know, Texas Tech wasn't no punk team. Now give them credit.
And then they was throwing debris and everything on the on the field because they don't have to.
Yeah, the whole that's one of the great things about college sports. They had their traditions and whatnot. And this whole tradition of them throwing tortillas on the field, I still don't know how all that started at Texas Tech. But it's crazy. But no, they got to throwing a lot more than tortillas. That was a bad deal.
Bottles and beer bottles and water bottles. It just got out of hand.
Ketchup packets, they were just throwing some of everything.
I want to talk about the Nevada Boise game too, because we was gonna have to talk about it. It was closer than what I thought that it'd be, man. But then you had that man, dude, that man child. Genty had 209 yards and 3 scores, man. Most times he's carrying that team on his back, man.
Dude, if they actually had any real semblance of a passing game to go with him, they'd be top 5 right now.
I agree.
I mean, the thing is, it's probably not going to work in the end because there's going to be that one thing like, look, we know to throw 8-9 people in the box. We know eventually we got to force them to pass it, and the right team is going to be able to do that for them, and that's going to be it. But in the meanwhile, the teams in their division, they can't do nothing with that.
That's what's going to kill them, man, because they're going to have to throw the ball at some point, man. And that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm afraid of, too. Like, they don't start challenging them, and whoever finally get them, they're going to have a blueprint, because that's why I think right now they're still ranked so high, because the only loss on their belt is when they lost to Oregon. They only lost by 3 points, man. I thought they would have won that game, honestly.
And the fact that Oregon is still ranked so high, that's keeping them right there where they need to be. And like I said, in the ideal world, they're at least going to come up. They're going to be the Boise State of old with the trick plays and whatnot.
Yeah, they're going to have some gadget plays to pull off something, man, to get up in the playoff. Yo, E-Man, how did you feel about Utah hanging with number 9 BYU, man? That was a pretty interesting game.
Well, again, rivalry game, especially that particular game, because much like in Denver, they play in the altitude and whatnot. But, Utah ain't phased by that because they play in the altitude as well. So
yeah, pretty much.
They deal with BYU a little differently. Not to mention, you got to remember how the Mormon schools are set up to where many of those players take a couple years off to I forget exactly what they call it or whatever. So it's a lot of grown ass men on both of those teams. So that's why you tend to get the type of football you get out of them too. And then again, those two offensive linemen they got at BYU, them 2 giants.
Oh, them dudes is behemoth.
Giants.
Mountains of men. Those big dudes. That's where we're going to start getting more. That's going to be, like I said, O-line U, man. They got
That's going to be the new O-line U. I agree.
And you know what's wild crazy, too? This is a game I called, man. You got to give it to me on this one. Number 3, Georgia versus number 10, Ole Miss. I said, yeah, man, I definitely think Ole Miss got something for them, man. Definitely at home. I thought they had something for them.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was one of those, the head coach sat down with Ole Miss like, look, I need this one, y'all. They disrespected me. Get my revenge. That
defined Lane Kiffin and his coaching career now at Ole Miss, man. Because remember, he haven't beat a top 10 team in a long time until that game.
I think, Ole Miss is just one of them stops along the way for him. When all is said and done, you already know where we're going to find Lane Kiffin in the end.
Well, you think he's going to be back in the NFL?
Someday, yes.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Because at first, when he first came in the NFL, I was thinking, man, he's going to be one of them dudes.
He wasn't ready yet when he came the first time.
And I think he handled it too immaturely, too, man.
Exactly.
Remember, he basically had a note. They read the note that he actually said that when he disappeared, man. Yeah, I thought.
And then, of course, putting him with the Raiders, that wasn't a good marriage anyway.
No, because you know how unorganized that Raider organization is, man.
Remember, that was some of the last days of Al Davis, and
Yeah. And that 28-10 victory, man, spoke volumes to me, man, because it's like you already know what I'm about to say. Carson Beck, man, he needs, if he can stay another year in college, I would, because that dude,
Carson Beck is going to be a fine, he's going to be a fine quarterback in the UFL.
My eyes looked up like fine quarterback, UFL, that makes sense. That dude, man, he got to learn better than turn the ball over like that. He turned the ball over. He averaging 3 interceptions a game.
Basically, if you turn the pressure cooker up on that dude, that's all need to be said.
Yeah, it showed, man, because that dude's been definitely looking bad lately, man. You know what game surprised me, though? The number 17 Iowa State versus Kansas, man. I saw that game and I said, what is going on? Because remember, Kansas almost beat Kansas State, and then Kansas ended up beating Iowa State, man, 36-45.
Y'all got to start paying attention to some of them schools in those areas that we normally don't talk about. Your Iowas and Kansas and Minnesotas and Nebraskas and whatnot. It's a lot of good stuff going on, not just in football either, man. But keep in mind, Iowa State, Kansas State, them both two good football teams, okay? The reason why they only so far because they in that SEC. And we already know that SEC hit different. If they would have stayed back in the Big 12, that might have been a whole different ballgame.
I want to ask you a question.
Well, no, I mean, not so much for Kansas State. Obviously, they are in the Big 12.
I don't know for sure, but when I saw that game and I saw who was the quarterback on Kansas, I got to ask the question. It made me, raise my eyebrow, man. Is Jaden Daniels akin to Jaden Daniels?
That's a good question.
They kind of look similar, don't they? Look at that dude on Google, man. They kind of look similar, dude. And I was like, man, I need to do a little.
Remember, it's a lot of relations going on these days in college and pro, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because he definitely looks like him, man. And that's why
I keep forgetting that the kid over there in Oregon, that's Herbert's brother.
Yeah, the tight end, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because, you got the Trevor Etienne in Georgia. Yeah, you got a lot of guys, man, who's related in college.
Yeah, don't forget you got Raiola, his son over there in Nebraska, Lil Mahomes Jr.
man. Army, man, even though they had an injury, man, they still, right now, and I know we don't know no damn body in North Texas, but they still chugging along with a really pivotal injury, man. How long do you think that'll last before? Do you think that they'll be able to get the guy back on the team and, continue to strive, or do you think that they might fall into a brick wall soon with that guy being injured? Because you can see the points are not pointing right now with them.
I'm not sure, man. I'm really not. Like I said, the way this year done went for the whole NCAA, it's hard to call that. It's crazy, though. But no, see that crazy stat that we almost got last week? Florida. What happened last week, y'all? If it was not for Miami Dolphins winning, every team in the state would have took the L last week.
Like, how many was it? Like
every major team. That's crazy.
I had no idea.
You know about even a little in between, Florida A&M's and all that, even they took the L last week.
And I didn't pay no attention to it until I looked at that Monday game. I said, man.
That was a crazy stat.
Yeah, that was every team. So, Miami game was bigger than Woo.
Particularly when you talk about Florida, one of the hotbeds for football across the country.
So, that really caught me off guard, man. Dude, like you said, man, I think that was you who said this too, man. Remember, I was saying, man, I was surprised in how well Pitt was playing, number 18 Pitt, but then that changed, man. after they lost to Virginia 24-19, them dudes really fell off the face of earth. Because not only did they lose one game, they lost back-to-back games too.
Yeah, they pretty much tapped out on this season with that one. I mean, they'll end up going to a good bowl. They'll probably play a pretty good team, and they'll probably beat that team, to be honest. But yeah, they championship run is over after that.
Now, man, we can talk about the NFL when you're ready. We can do a pause.
All right, well, we're gonna take a quick little commercial break game. When we come back, we're gonna talk NFL. What happened last week? Yes, some of these games I already know I'm gonna feel some type of way, but we'll get there when we come back. This is Guru Sports Session. Ebook Guru. All right, good people. We back to the show. Guru Sports Session. Ebook Sports Guru. Ready to talk that NFL talk. Have at it, Hugh.
I'm going to start off with, it's been a lot of mess going on in the league right now, man. To put the icing on the cake to make matters even worse right now for the Dallas Cowboys, the so-called American team. That even though if we wanted to not talk about it, man, the talking heads and other people on the network and other, our friends and people who follow the show, they're going to talk about the Cowboys, man. So, I want to know, how do you feel about the Dak Prescott injury, man? It's already bad enough that he wasn't really playing at a high caliber. Now you got Cooper Rush, who act like he can't even play anymore, man. Remember how he played and was 4-0 before Dak came back off an injury, and now, man, I only think had like 43 yards, like 13 to 23. I forgot his numbers, but they were like poor.
Man, it all starts with leadership, dude. And the leadership starts with the owner. Normally, we be talking about with the head coach or the GM, but no, in the case of the Dallas Cowboys, it's the owner. He is still very much too much hands-on. When you own the most expensive franchise in all of sports, I get it. That's your baby. Billions of dollars. I understand all of that. But that being said, at some point, you want to understand you in your own way.
Pretty
and
much.
All this stuff you getting on the bottom half of it is because of how you deal with stuff at the top.
I don't think that there'll never be a successor in that team until he just shut up and be behind the scenes. Until he do that, they're going to continue to be having the issues they're having right now in Dallas. That's my opinion.
At least trust your son to do it, please.
Yeah. Because, Jerry came in with that, attitude and the way he carried things, how he'll question players. And you never played, and you basically in the suites and you complaining about players and questioning their toughness and all when you're not out there putting in that type of work that they're putting in. So, yeah.
Right.
Man,
I understand you played football, but Jerry, that was a long ass time ago.
It ain't like how it is today, man. He just needs to humble himself. And like you said,
right.
He can get out of his way.
But yeah, that being said, Hugh, we got to talk about the second part of this story.
All right, man. I wanted to bring it up a little later, but then we might as well because we already on the Dallas. We already on the Dallas issues. First thing that I didn't like, man, was how he called out CD Lamb. That was Bush League, man. CD was like he couldn't see because the sun was in his eye. Then you seen that view, and I said, damn, who could see through that? And that's when Jerry Jones was like, well, we got that there for a reason. He knew what side of the field we was going to be on when they flipped the coin. So why did they go on that side of the field? That's for us, and that's an advantage to us. What were your thoughts on that, man?
Man, the excuses. Every week it's the excuses. It's bad enough we have to hear Jerry at the end of the game like he was coaching, like he was on the field dealing with stuff, like he was making decisions. We shouldn't even be hearing from you at all, truth be told. Sheila Hemp, owner of the Lions, love her. You hardly even know she did.
Pretty much.
Owner should be seen and not heard, okay? That part.
The crazy part about it too, man, is they all mixed in. Man, I wish you had that video, man, when my man's Damian Woody called out Michael Parsons, man, because he made the comments about Mike McCarthy and how he basically just threw him under the bus, like saying, I feel more bad for the guys who might not be here on the contract next year. We already know Mike McCarthy's not going to be here, and so I feel more bad for Zach Martin and the guys who put in the work and who's not going to possibly be here. And I wish I could win for them. I'm not worried about Mike McCarthy and the coach,
Yeah.
And
well, what we'll try to do for y'all, since we be trying to get y'all to follow our other social medias, we're gonna try to put that up on one of the TikTok pages so y'all can see it, or at least send you the link on the YouTube so you can check it out for yourself. But yeah, he had plenty to say, and I wasn't mad at none of it.
No, me neither, man. That's like,
and double for Rex Ryan, he definitely lit into him, because bottom line, what Parsons said, you don't do that. No. You don't do that. At least not publicly. Okay, behind the scenes, y'all have it out. But I tell you one thing. One, you get away with it because you play for the Cowboys. And the way the Cowboys like to do business, they like to put their business in the streets. It all starts with the coach / owner. He always put his business in the streets, so you feel comfortable doing it yourself. Two, more importantly, I blame the coach. I tell you what. Let that have been Mike Tomlin you said that about.
Oh, yeah. You know they wouldn't have got away with that.
Y'all be in that office later on. And y'all wouldn't be doing no talking. No talking. Let you have said that about Dan Campbell. You probably wouldn't even got the rest of that out your lips before Dan be like, let me holler at you for a second. Miko Ryans, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? Third coaches, you ain't pulling that move with.
Oh, no. They would have got suspended. They wouldn't even been playing in the next few
Not
days.
At all.
And everybody just want to kick that dude while he down. It's like, man, you got to look at, like you said, from the top, man. Jerry Jones didn't do anything to help that team improve and get better. You had opportunities. You had two of the best running backs out there, and Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. You didn't do anything. You let players leave like the Tony Pollards, and you didn't bring anybody in to help with the strength of the team. And then now you're saying you're all in, and now is like, man, you like that. When I heard one of the guys, I think it was Dominic Foxworth, he was saying that you not even respecting the coach, man, by not giving him an extension and just letting him walk.
Right, because we all know he up out of here. We know that.
Yeah.
Which leads to the third part of the story. I know everybody done heard the rumors that basically Stephen A. threw out there the other day. Look. Master plan is this. Go and finish tanking. Grab Shador. Grab Dion. Let's do this. Now, the crazy part about it, Hugh, that ain't news to neither you or I.
Not at all.
Put that scenario out months ago. If y'all look back at the show a couple months ago, we talked about that extensively. We already seen that playing out.
That was one of the teams he played for, and that team had a needed quarterback, man. We can look at it and say there's a possibility that Shador can go to the Las Vegas Raiders, but hey, that's another good option, man. And the Cowboys is right there, man. America's team, and he will be able to do what he can do over there with the Cowboys. And you can have Dion too as the coach, Coach Brian. Yeah, man, that's starting to look a little bit more like approachable situation right there, man. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if something like that escalated.
Right. Remember, Shador Sanders has had his father as coach since junior high school. Okay, they are very, 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 very familiar with one another.
Hey man, I wanted to holler at you too about something that just happened, man. Man, we already talking about scapegoat and what's going on with a lot of these scapegoats in the league right now. How did you feel about when Matt Eberflus fired Shane Waldron, man? And he's on the way out the door himself, but I just felt like, man, but then he had to get a scapegoat before his exit.
Not only does it not matter, but I could almost guarantee you when I know Eberflus is getting fired, I'm almost certain it's going to happen a few days after Thanksgiving. Once the Lions whoop that butt. Let the Lions take the Bears up in here and win by 21. It's over. That's going to be it right there. He will not see the following week. That is my bold prediction. They get blew out by the Lions on Thanksgiving, it's a wrap. And that's based on what we've seen play-wise, yeah, I don't see that not happening.
At one point, we thought even Caleb was saving his job because they were looking pretty good at one point, and it all seemed like it fell downhill once that big, play, the Hail Mary play with the Commanders, and then they just didn't look the same ever since.
But even in the games they won, Hugh, you got to credit more of that to the people they played.
Absolutely,
Titans,
like Tennessee,
Panthers. Come on, man! But now you can't even beat the damn Patriots. Come on. You know they trash.
The Patriots mollywopped them, man. They made that defense look like a top 5 defense, man.
Because the offensive line of the Bears is atrocious.
And you know what's funny about it?
And how are you going to develop as a rookie quarterback when as soon as you get the ball, you're like, oh, here they come again. Ah!
One thing I'm about to say, E, and I'm not even trying to take away from the Roman Doomsday, draft pick, but they had opportunity to get an O-lineman there, man, when they got Caleb, man, and that was an opportunity to do it. Think about it. Make it make sense when you already had DJ Moore and then you was getting Keenan Allen, but then you go after a receiver in the draft, and you could have easily got one of the best O-linemen in the draft at that pick because they were still there on the board, E.
And think about how you must feel right now if you're the Panthers. You done had all these damn number 1 picks, really. And you done wasted half of them, trade them to the Bears, and the Bears have pretty much wasted them their damn self. So,
yep. It's like a lot of luxury, man, that the Bears is basically wasting right now. Definitely from not focusing on that O-line. And that's been an issue on its own, man.
Right. And you see how important O-line is. Think about your division. 2 of the better offensive lines in the division, the Packers and the Lions. You think you're going to be able to compete with them with that? No, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to get into the Week 10 games now, too, man. Starting with the Thursday night game. That was a really good game, man. And like I was telling you, E, man, they know now where they made the mistakes at because the Thursday night games the next few weeks is going to be really good, man. And you know what? One of them I can't even really give credit to because some of the Thanksgiving games are like they're going to be pretty rough. So, yeah, man, but the last few Thursday night games on Prime has been really interesting, man. Starting with this one, man, the Bengals and the Ravens game. And I know you heard what I had to say, E-Man, and that's something I still want to talk to you about because I wanted your opinion. I've been talking about this like 3 years ago, E, and we never really knew what was going on. And I used to see stuff, and I know you used to see stuff, and I'm like, man, they need to do something about this, man. But it's like, it really got sad when the LASIK eye surgery company was the ones who showing pictures of things that's blatantly being missed in the NFL. And I don't know, E, but I think I sent you the picture, but it was like, it was a face mask injury on it was a face mask hold on Joe Burrow. He had his face mask, and then it was a offensive lineman on the ground. He was holding both of their face.
Nighthawk Network presents Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love, devoted father and husband, a residing pastor at the River Rouge Bible Assembly in River Rouge, Michigan. Join him as he gives us messages from God's Word, Bible study, and encouragement. You can find him on YouTube under Sean Love.
On Blog Talk Radio or where most great music podcasts are located. Don't forget to subscribe and show some love.
Join us for Night Modes tonight on Nighthawk Network Radio.
Hold up.
picture. And then not only that, they didn't call none of that when he went for the 2-point conversion. But Mike Gesicki was being held in the end zone, and they didn't call nothing, man. They just said, okay, they went for the 2, they didn't get it, and that was the game.
See, the reason why this is a problem now, people, is because we already know the X factor in all of this. There's more money being bet on NFL football than any time in the history of the world, okay? When you look at the DraftKings and all of that, this time of year is when they make most of their money, NFL season. Because even basic game A, you're going to get millions upon millions of dollars of action one way or the other. So when you have these questionable calls that literally could cost people hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's when this becomes extra ugly. Now, here's the thing. We're supposed to have this official review that you ain't got the call for. It's just automatically going to be done, particularly on scoring plays. Where was that at?
Yeah.
If we see all this later on, y'all got all the camera angles and views. Why y'all couldn't figure that out? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people upset about it, and they have a right to be. But that being said, I can't recall a game ever being overturned in the end.
Yeah.
In the end, it's like, well, we messed up. My bad. Let's move on.
And I understand that too, but I think they should get fined for the poor officiating. No, man.
I mean, because, we go back to last year in the incident in Dallas, You get started on that.
And their final score, man, was crazy because they bought out, man.
But that being said, that was a hell of a game.
Yeah, my man, they had balls to go for the 2-point conversion, man. And then that game, man, they gave the Emmy Award on Monday to Jamar Chase. And in my opinion, it's just me. I don't know, but I might be wrong. But Jamar Chase been playing way better than Justin Jefferson right now, man. That dude had 264 yards on 11 receptions and 3 touchdowns, dude.
I wonder why, Hugh. I wonder why. We all know why. Yeah. Justin got his money. He got his bread. Jamar still ain't got paid.
That dude be playing with diamonds around his neck, man. Mr.
Jamar still ain't got paid. Have you not been entertained? What else that man got to do? We shouldn't even be finishing the end of the season without that brother getting his money.
They gonna mess around.
He is the best wide receiver in the league right now.
Yeah, agree.
Number one.
And I benefited from that too, E, because something told me go ahead and put Joe Burrow at the end of the fantasy football. And damn, he definitely ain't disappointed. I had like 35 points that night, man. He had 428 yards and 3 scores. But Lamar on the other end had 290 yards in the air, and he had 4 touchdowns. So where was the defense, E? That's why the game was so good, because there wasn't no defense.
Well, we know what's going on with Baltimore. Their defense just ain't been showing up, period, lately. But Cincinnati, I don't know what happened on that end.
Yeah, they let a lot of them guys walk, like Jesse Bates and, some of their good guys, man. They didn't want to pay them. They ended up paying Burrow, and they're going to have to pay my man, Jamar Chase. And if they don't, man, they really going to be in for something. But they're going to have to say.
They don't pay that dude, and you let T. Higgins walk too. Y'all in rebuild mode.
Pretty much. I'm not even going to waste my time and save this for last. We're going to just get this out the way too, man, because it was crazy, man, because I didn't know until you hit me up, E, because I basically got up that day, man, and I'm embarrassed to say it. I watched a little bit of that trashy game with the Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Then once the real football came on, I dozed off for a minute. About time I got up real good to even see the game, to check and see what was going on, that's when I looked up and I said, man, I seen the score, and I said, oh, Lord, we down 7-23. And then I just so happened to say, let me turn the game on and see where we at right now, man. I wouldn't even care if we down 10, man, as long as we try to make it a fight. And I looked up and it was 23-all. And then when I was trying to see the final score, he didn't even say spoiler alert. He sent me a cold AI picture with the lion on it, man, and like a Lions gear saying "Go Lions." So then it was like 5 seconds later, almost peed my pants. It looked like that field goal wasn't even gonna go in, and then when it barely went in, they both of them squeaked in. But I was so happy with that, man, because even on a bad day, it was good to see that we persevered. But I hope golf don't be golfing like that no more, because we seen the stretch when he did that last year, man. And I'm definitely hoping he don't got the apple turnovers in him anymore.
Now we talked about the Sunday night game. By the way, he just neglected the big part of the story and went into the story. But yeah, we talking about that Sunday night game, the Lions and Houston, the Texans. Give them credit, man. Give them credit. They came with a game plan, and early on in that game, they executed brilliantly. Okay,
it was a trap game. It was a trap game. They was in Houston.
Exactly what that was.
And they lost the game to the Jets. They were pissed off. And that Sunday night football game, they wanted to basically make an example.
Remember, Houston ain't that far from Dallas per se. I mean, it literally is. But when we talk about Texas, you know they've been talking a lot about how Detroit went to Dallas and whooped that butt. They've been talking about that in Texas for weeks now. So, of course, all that talk permeated over to Houston. They was like, oh, we ain't going out like that. We got something real in these hands for their gas. And they tried to put the show enough on us. Okay. But, somewhere deep at halftime, that dude Campbell gave them the speech, and they came out. There was a different team in that second half. Next thing you know, here we is like, no, I am. And we won that son bitch, okay? Credit three things. One, credit the resiliency of the team, okay? Remember how everybody used to always laugh about, oh, you think they're gonna bite kneecaps? That Campbell, he's a funny guy. He's a little muscle head. How you like him now? Remember when you just thought it was all lip service and whatnot? He said this team would be gritty. They are. Two, just because that dude is out for the season, don't mean the spirit of that dude ain't with that team, okay? They believe. They believe that they can win, and they come out and they play like that every week despite whatever may happen. And three, credit the people of Detroit who went down there and drove to Houston, showed up and showed out. Some of my favorite things I have seen this week was going on TikTok and seeing all the people who have posted videos of, yeah, we was down in Houston. And I'm talking about they turned Houston out that weekend, okay? Not just at the game. They was all over town. Houston, you thank you. And you welcome. Because we went down and spent a lot of our money in Houston that weekend.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
They was down there popping bottles, and they popped all the bottles in the club. They took over the
They was down there in the strip club deep, in the rib joint deep, at the game deep, at the pre-game deep, at the college games the day before Lions teams was deep. I mean, they had a good old time down there in Texas.
It's crazy because we started to travel like the Pittsburgh Steelers fans now, man. And that's
absolutely.
we never thought that we'd see the day. Not only will we be, playing in contention, but to be playing this good and to have a deep, crowd as well that follow, and we have a fan base wherever we go. So it's not going to feel like, we're being, to the point where we're not home. Everywhere we go now, it seems like we at home.
That seems to be the new model now. Everywhere we go, we deep. In fact, they played that.
Yep, they did.
TikToks, and they was deep for real. But yeah, kudos to the Lions. After all these years of being super suck, we is now showing y'all we for real. That Kool-Aid is delicious, okay? Very fruity. Loving it.
What was so cool about that too is they asked on NFL Live the next day, and they were saying, well, how did things go about and what was going on when you guys talked to Coach Aaron Glenn at the half? What did he say to you guys? What did him and Coach Campbell say to you for you to come out with that type of energy to be able to pull off the game? And he said, when we got in from halftime, we're not going to let them guys score again. And he said that was the plan. And what was so cool about that, too, is the fact that I was liking the fact that we got Carlton Davis for what I've seen in the past. But you said, Hugh, man, right now, I'm not really impressed with that dude, man. And he needs to do better because we can't think about the past and we got to think about what he's doing now with Detroit. And it was awful at first, man, with him and, Tyrion Arnold. But he was playing like the Super Bowl. He was playing like a Super Bowl caliber on Carlton Davis that day. He saved us from that game. He got them 2 picks. He got the pick when we needed it in the second half, and he basically got those 2 picks we needed. And that James Houston sack came up big in that game, man.
Yeah, I mess with Nipsey Hussle 2.0 big time now. I like that dude. Tell me that you don't like Nipsey Hussle.
If you want, we can pass on this one. I know you said you don't pass on stuff, man, but that next game was the music.
Oh, I take that lie back. From now on, it's going to be teams I'm going to pass on, and I'm going to explain why. Go for it.
All right. The Munich game with the Giants and the Panthers.
Ass. Total ass. Bottom line is, I know it's people in the network that are Giants and Panthers, but I'm sorry. But after being a Lions fan for several decades, knowing that my team was ass for many of that, and they didn't get talked about because they didn't deserve to get talked about. That's how I feel about some of these teams now. They don't deserve it. The Panthers suck. They're going to suck for a long time. Giants probably not as long because in the end, somebody going to pony up and pay the money that it's going to take to fix them. But in the time being, them 2 teams, they done for the year. So whether they play each other, they play somebody else, I ain't got too much to say about either one of them. We can move on.
Like you said, man, with the Giants, it's a possibility that Bill Belichick might go back there, man, and try to coach. And that whole
it ain't even worth him doing it unless they're gonna pony up the money, homie, and get him full DT type control, 45-47 control of the franchise, the Senate and the Congress and the whole deal.
This was a good game right here, even though it was a low-scoring game. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos, they always find a way. And I'm starting to look at it, and when you say what you said, I was like, man, when you was like, man, I think they can go undefeated. I said, maybe. I think the Steelers and Buffalo have something to say about it. But it's not really looking too skeptic after that, man. I think it's a pretty clear path, man, for Kansas City to go undefeated.
They beat them 2 teams. It's hack. They beat them two teams up on their schedule. It's happening. But anyway, you can't help but think that, because think about it. They find a way to win.
I looked up
they anywhere close to the fourth quarter. Even the other teams already thinking these fools about to come back on us. It's just a question of how. Because remember, for all that they got right now, they still ain't even got all their weapons back yet. No. And they gonna get some of them back.
What hurt them though, that game, that I seen, they got a couple of old linemen who's injured, but still, when they get some of them weapons back, it can make up for it, because he will have the opportunity to do what he do best. He holds on to the ball a little longer than normal, but with those speedsters, man, just think about Hollywood Brown come back and you don't have to hold on to the ball for long.
Think about it. You got DeAndre on that side, Brown on the other side, right somewhere in the mix of that. Ooh. It's so scary. You get to thinking they may mess around. I don't even say that out loud, but you see what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't need, man. Yeah, you better chill.
If that happens, call that dude Nanny, because he the GOAT for real.
If that happened, then I would stop watching the NFL, because they're not doing anything. If you could, because I even said that with New England. I said New England three-peat, I won't watch NFL, because what am I watching for? But it's still the realm of possibility. But yeah, I would definitely.
I mean, it's hard not to see it right now, because
it definitely is to me right now.
Somehow, some way, they dig it out the mud every time.
Man, and that game was so crazy too, because I was saying when I saw it, I said, Will Levis is going to miss this field goal, or something's going to happen where he don't make the field goal.
I was thinking that very same thing. And like I said, I'm watching it as it's happening. I'm like, how are they about to win this game? I don't know what's about to happen, but they about to mess around and win this game. And as soon as he blocked it, I started laughing hysterically, like,
dude, this was a really good game right here, man. I had Commanders at home, but Pittsburgh has something different in mind. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Washington Commanders was a really good game, man. A lot of that I felt like, man, I'm looking like y'all ain't really giving Russell Wilson his props. Y'all acting like it was some good catches, E. It was some good catches, but I'm
good
like
catches, hell, that was some phenomenal catches.
But Russ had to throw it up there for them to get it, though, man. They wasn't getting that from Justin Fields, man. He kind of had the shakes when it came to that. And he put it right there where they needed to be, man. George Pickens been shining. And the funny part about it, man, just to throw the icing on the cake of the insult to injury, Mike Wallace caught a touchdown, then threw shade at the Jets after they won. He said, man, it feels good to be back in a winning culture and being somewhere where I feel like I'm winning and don't get the finger pointed at me. Because, you know, he said basically Aaron just pointed the finger at him for everything, you know, when they lost like two of them games and was using him as a scapegoat. Now they don't look good with Devontae Adams neither. So what's the, you know, excuse now? You know, you get all your boys and everybody you want over there and y'all still losing.
How you like him now? But no, let's put some respect on a couple people's names that need more respect. One, we're not giving Mike Tomlin his proper respect, okay? Mike Tomlin is the best coach in the National Football League right now. Right now. If they pick it today, he is the coach of the year. Because ain't no way in the hell you saw Pittsburgh doing this. Now, I was the one on the air saying, yes, I honestly feel like Pittsburgh will somehow, some way, find a way to win more games than they lost. But that being said, I didn't think they were going to be this good.
No.
I really didn't. And, you know, me and you, we both Boston threw Russ out with the bathwater a couple years ago. We thought that, you know, Pittsburgh might squeeze a little bit of something out of Russ, but no, Russ back. The kitchen is back open. And he cooking and making some quality dishes, okay? It's good to be Sierra's husband these days. Damn good.
Man. That dude went from making ramen noodles to creme brulee, man. And in like a season.
And that being said, Hugh, one of them receivers you love to hate, that dude Pickens, he got that dude looking like an all-pro right now.
He do, man. I agree with you. I definitely can't lie and say he don't, because he looks really good out there now.
Yeah, he may not be the best locker room guy, but he a hell of a wide receiver.
That chemistry, I believe, got him out there too. Because you know, when a lot of people, some people wanted Justin Fields to still be out there, but George Pickens was the man. One like, hey man, we practice all the time after practice, man. Me and that man Russ. So man, I'm looking forward to seeing what he do when he come in, and that chemistry just seems like it's always been there, man.
Right, and I don't think it's a situation in Pittsburgh where they hate Fields, not at all. They like that dude too, but they just like Russ cooking better, dog.
Yeah,
it's fried rice. This tastes a little better. They like how he seasoned the pepper. That's all.
And the funny part about it too is that game was really close, man. It could have went.
That was a good game.
It was, man.
Again, give Washington credit. They have definitely turned that franchise around in a hurry. Okay.
Zach Ertz was so close to getting that first down, and he didn't get it. And then it was turnover in possession, and then Pittsburgh got it. They was on the fourth down, man, and it was just Russ being savvy and you know, his count, man. He got them off. Offsides off the count, and that's all they needed to run the clock.
A great veteran move, absolutely. That's something you wouldn't have got from Fields.
Man, if you want to talk about this game briefly, I would understand too, man, because this was one that we thought that wasn't going to be good, and it definitely wasn't. The Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Remember, Mac Jones was the quarterback that game.
Yeah, and it's looking even worse for Jacksonville now because A, it looked like Trevor might be out for the season, and B, their next game, they got to come to the D. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. Anyway, yeah, I guess Mac Jones ain't done just yet. He still might have a little bit left in the tank.
It wasn't all his fault neither, man, because that team let him down, man, because he actually looked pretty good that game.
Yeah.
They didn't really step up and rise to the occasion.
I don't understand what happened with Jacksonville. It's like they had figured it all out, and now they have it. It's like, what happened? Y'all was playoff ball. Y'all supposed to be where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But something went left. We went that way. They went this way. And, of course, now, like I said, without Trevor, it's pretty much a done deal.
I want to talk about the
but yeah, as far as Minnesota go, they still ain't the Minnesota we seen a few weeks ago. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm surprised with their gameplay, man. And then you know your man John was rattled, man. He didn't look good at all that game. He started to look like he did when he was in New York.
That he is. That he is.
Yeah, because he was like 241 yards through the air, but he had 3 picks that game, man. He looked rattled that whole game.
And if you break that down, a lot of that was trash can yards, to be honest.
And a lot of that was some ghosts that came back, man, when he was seeing ghosts when he was in the AFC East. They was back that game, man. He definitely looked more than rattled.
Big time.
We're gonna go into that division rival game when they always hit different, man. This one I definitely picked Atlanta, because we knew how bad things was with Dennis Allen and how things just got really out of hand with that team, man. It was totally different, man, when they got the new, special teams coach as the head coach, man. That game was crazy, man. And Derek Carr had like 269 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns, man. And they sealed that deal. And Kirk Cousins didn't do anything. He had 306 yards, but like you said, more of it was garbage yards, and he had a pick, but didn't do anything else. The main guy who carried the load was Bijan Robinson with 116 yards, and he had 2 scores on the game. But yeah, man, that was a game that was pretty good. It was back and forth. It was just that at the end of the day, New Orleans pulled it out when they needed to. That was a good, big moral victory too, man. Because right now that division is they're running away with it.
I need the Saints to make up their mind. Do y'all suck or not? Okay. We thought y'all was done and cooked. Okay. I was ready to throw you on the shelf with the rest of them sucky teams, the Panthers and the Titans of the world. But y'all don't want to go away. Y'all thinking, yeah, we still could do a little something. Now I don't know what to do with y'all. Y'all pissing me off.
You know what was crazy, bro? I definitely like the San Francisco Tampa Bay game. Feel bad for Tampa Bay for all what they lost, but it was a really good game, man. They had a really good run game against San Francisco too. But then my man's on.
What you will about their losses and injuries, they still a scrappy bunch.
Yeah, C-Mac came back. You could tell he was rusty with 13 carries and 39 yards, man. But Brock Purdy had 353 yards and 2 touchdowns. Baker didn't do that much through the air with the 116 and the score. But then you have Bruce Irvin, and he balled out, man. Him and Rashad White. And they both scored touchdowns in the game. And they was running the ball pretty well against 49ers.
You talking about that dude, Bucky Irvin? Yeah. I like that dude as a running back. He's sturdy. He a good complimentary back to whoever the first back is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's still not over for Tampa Bay because that division ain't settled.
Not at all.
And they still seem to be figuring out some stuff there without their 2 best weapons. But the scary part is San Francisco, they starting to get hold at the right time.
Yeah.
And give McCaffrey another game or 2, and let's see what really happens.
You know what's funny, man? I can't say that Josh Allen's all the way back, but he's starting to get them apple turnovers himself, man. He had them 280 yards, but he had them 2 picks, and they was looking kind of stifled at first, man. It was just Joe Flacco played so bad the last 2 games, especially this game. He had the 272 yards. He had the 2 touchdowns, but he had them 3 picks. And them 3 picks helped and kept Buffalo in the game. And that was the end result, man. Buffalo ended up winning 30-20. And now they looked at it, and I know you saw the news. They was basically saying, we're just going to have our man's Anthony Richardson play out throughout the rest of the season.
I think that was going to eventually happen anyway. I really feel like this whole little period was a punishment period because of the whole
how he handled things.
The tap out. We all know that's what it really boiled down to. Mm-hmm. People felt some type of way about the tap out, not just the coaching staff, but some of the players on the squad. I think he didn't had his apology tour and worked it all out. And I think now they understand, okay, if he's gonna be the franchise, we got to see what we got now. So we got to let that dude play. As far as Flacco, it's the reason why Flacco was on the couch a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. Because later in his career, he started to play like you playing now.
Pretty much. In the
That's
nutshell.
what that's about. Keep in mind, I'm watching Mike Tyson over here on the corner of my eye. Still very intimidating at 57 years old. Let's say that. That's going to be a very good fight this weekend, y'all.
New England Patriots versus the Bears. Like I said, you don't got to sugarcoat. You can say next if you want to.
Ass. Fire the whole thing. No. Suck. Next.
Because when Eberflus fired Shane Waldron, I laughed. I said, your ass out the door next.
Dude, I need you to start packing your office up right now because I'm pretty much thinking after Thanksgiving, you're done.
You know what was sad too, E-Man? Not only did they make the Patriots look like world beaters, but, they almost broke a franchise record of having 10 sacks in that game. And we already talked about how bad that O-line is. They had 9 sacks in that game against that man.
No, the true MVP, Chicago Sports Talk. If y'all got any access to where you can go online and listen to the different stations across the country, listen to Chicago Sports Talk when they get to talk about the Bears. Them Bears fans is pissed.
E-Man, Tennessee Titans versus the Chargers.
Now, on the one hand, I ain't got nothing to say about them Titans. But we got to talk about my man's Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. He's doing it again.
Definitely playoff.
He's doing it again. There's a reason why that interest was always there for him to come on back to the NFL. Long story short, people, San Diego State, Stanford, Michigan, San Francisco, no matter where that dude done went, he done won. Nothing has changed. Call him a cheater all the hell you want. He wins.
Bottom line. E, you know what we got to talk about next, baby boy? Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, baby. Now, unfortunately, we got to talk about it because a lot of y'all Cowboys fans in the network, it's been a long year for y'all. Already happening. And then the news about Zach being out for the season.
And the Mekhi Parsons situation with the coach has been basically.
Looks like you're going to get Trey Young starting at least a couple of these games. Trey Lance. I should say, yeah.
It's been the Housewives of Atlanta over there, man.
No doubt. It's just messy. It's real extra messy with grease and all of that. It's ugly.
That's
the fact that one of y'all favorite supporters is Stephen A. Smith, that don't help. Because every time you go on and say something about you, it go viral, and that's just making a bad situation worse.
And every time they lose, you won't see him at first. He'll be hiding his face. Then he bring it into camera, and he right there laughing like he couldn't wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
And Hurts didn't really do everything, man. He wasn't really doing a lot. He had 202 yards. He had the 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he didn't.
Really have to?
He really didn't, man. It was just it's definitely with Cooper Rush. That dude, man. I was right. He was 13 for 23. But then I on one part I messed up on. I didn't give him the 2 extra yards. He had 45 yards in that game.
Oh my. Oh my.
And it's funny,
never been a big advocate of doing this, but If Steven ain't right, man, should they just go ahead and start tanking?
It's a possibility, man. I don't see why they would try to win any more games if they don't have to, because they'll be up
Because in the end, worst case scenario, whatever pick they go get, they either got to get an offensive lineman, running back, or start over from that. One of them three.
Absolutely. They don't really have no choice right now, man. Yeah, this is just really bad for that organization, man, especially when
it's crazy. I can only imagine what it would have been like if Skip Bayless was still on the air.
Man.
He'll
probably be in tears right now.
Not to mention if him and Shannon were still together. Oh, that would have been some classic roast sex. He would have ended up pissing Shannon off all over again.
And we were just talking about this team being a Jekyll and Hyde team. They won 2 games, man, and they won 2 games convincingly, man. The Arizona Cardinals versus the New York Jets. That game was crazy, man. It wasn't even close.
All right, yeah, Jets, they pretty much on that suck list, so I ain't got much to say about that. Aaron, go ahead and sit down and call it a career. As far as the Cardinals, like I said, I don't know what to make of them.
Yeah.
They good, but they ain't. They ain't, but they is. I don't know. That dude Kyler Murray, if he was 6'2", he'd be an MVP candidate right now.
Yeah, because he's been playing lights out.
And we know one of them weeks he gonna decide to play the Madden instead of do the playbook. I mean, I don't know what to make of the Cardinals.
And then don't forget about my boy, man, the Terminator, aka James Conner.
And I love that dude, man. That dude is professional football player.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, we got to speed this on up. We got to get to the speed round, baby. What we got?
Yes, sir. And then we go into that Monday night game, man, with the Miami Dolphins and the Rams.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm feeling like a lot of the talking heads been saying, Tua, you on borrowed time, bro.
Oh, you see that play? Why would you try to tackle that man? Dude, that's when I had closed my eyes.
You're trying to play as if to say, I'm just going to be free and whatever happens, happens. We don't want that for you, bro.
No.
The next hit you take that's bad is your last. That's it. You be a fool to let that dude play after that.
Yeah, because it's like, man,
I don't care how much money he made.
You want
pay him off and keep it pushing.
He want concussion.
Like every time I watch them, we looking at the last days of Tua.
Yeah, because I think if he get another,
I mean, yeah, they won, and they probably should have won, you know, but
he shouldn't be playing, man, with all those concussion concerns, and he don't want to wear a Guardian hat. So it's definitely time.
And if anybody should be made to wear one, it's that dude.
Because I feel like after 3 concussions, you should wear.
I think that should be automatic. I agree.
Automatically, and
I agree. If you get 2 or more in the season, I think it should be automatic. I agree with that as well.
Because my man's Olave, man, Chris Olave, he should be wearing one because he had just as many. He had just as many as Tua. He had like 5 himself.
See what I'm saying?
All right, man. I want to get to the college, man. I want to get to the preview of Week 16. I mean,
all right. So we get to the predictions, y'all. So y'all know how we do it. Y'all been cooperating with this. We do the predictions. You give us yours. We're gonna put it in for you, so on and so forth. Let's go.
Ohio State versus Northwestern.
Man, why? Why are we even having that discussion? You just want me to talk about that team nonstop. I hate you.
I got them by the points. I'm taking the points, either negative 28.5.
Man, that's gonna be a route we all know.
Number 3, Texas versus Arkansas. You know what? He put up that trap. It's going to be a trap game. It's going to be probably a little closer than what we expect it to be. I'd be surprised if it's a blowout. They're in there in Arkansas, so I think it's going to be a little too close for comfort. I'm going to still take the points. I'm not going to take the 13.5, but I would take Texans by a touchdown in that one.
I'm not taking the points, but I am taking Texas. I think they understand the assignment. The assignment is we got to whoop on everybody else that's left so we can get one of them 2 bye spots. And get that part of the playoffs.
Utah, Colorado. You know I'm going with Colorado, and I'm going to take the 11.5 too.
And it's at the crib too.
Yes, sir.
There will be famous people in the building, okay? I do believe they're going to be on Fox this weekend. Yeah, that's going to be a good game.
And let me put some respect on their names. Number 17 ranked Colorado, because they keep trading and moving up. Clemson, number 20 Clemson, and Pitt. I'm going to go with Clemson on that one. I'll take the 10 points.
Clemson slowly but surely just sneaking back up into prominence, dog.
I don't trust Pitt.
This one.
Number 25, Tulane. Damn, when did they get back in the rankings? Number 25, Tulane against Navy. They got Tulane by a touchdown. I'll take that.
I think Navy going to smurf around and win that game.
Interesting. This is a sad one right here. Not only do they don't have the points on it, but they have this team winning by 99%. I'm going to say next to save it for us, man. That was Alabama and Mercer. So
man, you know I hate this, Hugh. We talk about this every year. They always wait till this time of the season and decide to throw a suck game into the middle of their conference schedule. Why do they do that?
They could have.
And they don't just do it in football. They do it in baseball and basketball too. I hate that.
Penn State and Purdue. They have Penn State by 28.5. I'm not going to go that way, but I'm going to say they're going to beat Purdue, though.
Even though Penn State is a pretender, Purdue so bad. I mean, they really, really bad. They like, we should kick them out the Big Ten bad.
You're going to take the 28.5, E?
Yes, I am. Even with Penn State, yes, I am. Purdue is that bad.
Virginia versus Notre Dame. This is going to be a close one. They got Notre Dame by -23, but I'm going to say I'll pick Notre Dame, and I'm not going to take the points.
Same.
Boston College and SMU, number 14 ranked SMU. I'll go with SMU, and I'm going to say under the 19.5, though.
I'm going to take them ponies, yeah.
Number 19, Louisville and Stanford. I'm going to go with Louisville, and I'm going to take the points, the 20.5.
I think Stanford is the biggest loser when it comes to the Pac-12 breaking up. Because, hell, I have to keep remembering they in the ACC. That's so crazy that they had to fly down there all across the country just to play because most of their squads they play is over this way.
LSU, number 22, LSU in Florida. I'm going to go with LSU, and I'm going to take the points because it's 4.5.
LSU will make a bounce back game, but yeah. Kelly, you on borrowed time there, bro.
This is going to be a pretty good game. 2 ranked teams, number 23 Missouri versus number 21 South Carolina. They're picking South Carolina at home by -12. I'm going to pick South Carolina, but I'm not taking points.
I'm going with Mizzou. SEC hit different, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
Number 13, Boise State versus San Jose State. I'm going to take Boise, and I'm going to take the points on this one with the -13. 13.5.
When I think Boise State, I'm not even thinking about whether they're gonna win or lose. I'm thinking about how many yards my man gonna have.
Yeah,
I say he good for at least 200 this week.
Arizona State versus number 16 Kansas State. I'm gonna go with Kansas State, and I'll take the 8.5.
I'm gonna take Kansas State as well.
Oregon versus Wisconsin. Come on now, man. I'm gonna take Oregon, and I'll take the points to 14.
I think the proper response that I usually give about this time is quack, quack.
Number 7 Tennessee versus number 12 Georgia. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Georgia, and I'm gonna take the 10 points because I think they're feeling some kind of way.
The big payback. Oh yeah, it's Georgia for sure.
New Mexico State versus number 15 Texas A&M. I'm going Texas A&M, and I'm taking a negative 39, man.
So apparently Texas A&M got a bye week this week as well. Okay,
pretty much.
Like I said, I don't like how the SEC do that, man.
Me neither, man. Number 18 Washington State versus New Mexico State. I'm gonna take Washington State, and I'll take 10.5 points.
I will go with the states as well.
Check this: Kansas versus BYU. They only have it by BYU having on a negative 2.5. I will take those points.
Them some big dudes. That's all I'm saying. Them some big ass dudes. It's hard to pick against them big ass dudes, man.
Understood. Yo, E, this is gonna be a good Thursday game right here in the NFL, man. The Commanders versus the Eagles, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll take the Eagles, but I'm gonna take the points as well, the 3.5.
Eagles kind of on a heater right now, so I got to go with them. But I would not be surprised, y'all. This is a very good game. That dude Daniels, he legit.
Wouldn't be surprised if Washington win this game.
Oh, and let me put some respect on that dude McLaurin's name as well. He is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Nobody hardly ever talks about.
Oh yeah, Scary Terry, yeah.
Scary Terry, indeed.
Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville, and I'm gonna take the 13.5. No, I'm playing. Come on now, man. I feel like it's I'm gonna take them Detroit Lions, and I'm gonna take them 13.5 points.
This is me opening up yet another can of whoop ass. Go Lions!
Damn, E, why this game on that one, man? Why this game on that 1 o'clock? E, they should shame on the NFL for not flexing this one. The Ravens at Pittsburgh. I'm taking.
Now y'all already know.
I'm taking.
Hate each other. They hate each other. That's always gonna be a good game because they hate each other.
I like the expression on your face is anger.
Hate each other.
I'm gonna take.
I don't give a damn who wins. I don't give a damn who lose. I just need to see it.
Yeah, I got Pitt by 3. They got the Ravens, but no, I got Pitt on this one. Yeah,
and don't let it be cold outside that week too. Oh, it's gonna be ugly. I love you.
You don't got to spare me from saying next on this one. The Rams and the Patriots. I knew they was gonna get.
Quit playing with me. Let's move on. Sir.
Another stinker. The Browns and Saints.
Hey.
Okay. The Colts and the Jets. It's gonna be a bad weekend.
Oh.
The Vikings and the Titans. I'm over here crying. This schedule.
Hey. What's going on this week? Oh my!
Hey man, it get worse. Look, the Raiders and the Dolphins.
Come on, man! Oh my God, these some horrible games.
Hey man, this is another bad one.
Thank God I got to work this week.
Man, I'm over here in tears. Check this out, man. The Packers and the Bears.
Man, this is one of them weeks where don't don't even worry about betting who win and lose. Bet some of these anytime touchdown scores.
Yeah, I think
That's
this
gonna be the
game
move
right
this week.
here. I think this game not gonna be bad, bro. The Falcons and the Broncos. I think that's gonna be all right.
That ought to be decent. That ought to be
the
decent.
Falcons on the road though.
Call me crazy, but I think the Broncos gonna win that game.
Okay. Yo, Seahawks and the 49ers.
There we go. Now we talking. Yeah. We can't just assume the 49ers gonna win this one. Seahawks always play them dudes tough, man.
Man, they do. They got their number, man. You know who else had their number at one point? The Rams, man. They already had a
I'm gonna call this one of them any given Sunday games. They smurf around and beat them both.
Okay. Ooh, this one of them games where this can determine if your boy is gonna be undefeated this year or not. The Chiefs at Buffalo, man.
This is gonna be one of the better games of the season, y'all. We already know when it comes to playing the Chiefs, that dude Allen, he gets up for it. He feels some type of way. He get tired of them talking about Mahomes like he don't exist. I definitely expect him to come out fine. But that being said, this is where we're gonna find out how good that Chiefs defense really is. They could shut him down and still find a way to win offensively. Look out.
He going undefeated.
17-0. Look out, baby.
I'm going to go Kansas City on that game, and I'm except for saying the -2 Buffalo, I'm gonna say -2 Kansas City. I think it's gonna be close, and I think they'll be able to squeak it out.
For the sake of my family and everybody else, I gotta ride with KC till they show they can't do it no more.
Yep. And I wouldn't even lose sleep because of the point differential is so low, man. So whoever went, it's an either or, man. So we got that more or less even in a way. But it's just a little bit more going Kansas City way right now, man. This another good one right here, though, man. And even the record doesn't show it, but the Bengals and the Chargers, that's gonna be a really good one. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
It's gonna be a better game than the records would indicate. Look for Harbaugh to get them to be one-dimensional. In other words, yeah, we're gonna shut down everybody else. Chase, you get yours. Everybody else, we're gonna shut down that running game. We got that on lock. Meanwhile, when we get the ball, we're gonna control the line of scrimmage. We're gonna run the clock, because we're gonna run the ball. Good luck, Cincinnati, trying to basically what I'm saying, y'all, take the under on that game. Whatever it is, take the under.
Yeah, you know what's funny too, because I'm gonna take the points, and it's the Los Angeles Chargers by 1.5.
Take the under, people.
Battle of Texas, man, is going on Monday night. Houston Texans at Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna take the Texans, but I'm gonna go over the point spread because they got it by 7.5. But I'm gonna go 14.5 Houston Texans.
Man, remember what they did to my Lions, okay? And they ain't even play their best game. They ain't gonna need their best game to play the Cowboys. That might get ugly.
It's definitely gonna be ugly.
It might get ugly.
It's gonna be close.
Look for Stroud to have at least 3 tutties.
Man, that's
and Nico Collins should be back. That's gonna make it even worse.
That's all I have, man. But all I know is, I'm definitely, if you be texting me on Sunday, man, don't be mad if I be snoozing off, man, because You've seen
Oh,
the
it's looking
games.
like that type of weekend. But no, keep in mind, there's two things you can look into. One, remember, y'all, we back in the college basketball season, and you know how they usually do it. On the weekends, you get the good games on Saturday with the men and the good games on Sunday with the women. So if your football team kind of sucky and not doing right, see what they got cooking over there on the ladies basketball side. And I do want to point out a couple very good things that happened today in terms of women's sports. You know, I'm a big advocate of that. One, congratulations to the lacrosse league. They are going to have their first professional women's lacrosse league here in the United States starting next year. If you've never seen the game of lacrosse, it ain't soccer, okay? It ain't one of them boring ass games. It's something you want to check out. I think if they market it right, it might do all right. But the bigger news of the day is this. Shout out to that kid, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Why Whoopi Goldberg? Tell him why, Hugh.
Man, I was hearing that she got some stake in on one of the teams is out here.
No, my friend. You got it all wrong. Whoopi Goldberg is taking it to that next level. Whoopi Goldberg and her associates are going to start the first all-women sports network. And they're going to show sports 24/7, not just women's sports in this country, women's sports around the world. So basically what Whoopi is doing is creating the first female ESPN. And I'm here for it. Because you know Whoopi involved, that means she is not going to have step.
You know, they always talked about how controversial she was when she was on The View because she spoke her voice. Most times when you speak your voice, you consider it a threat, especially when you're a darker color like we are. But
absolutely,
that's going to really open up doors for a lot, man. And that network is definitely going to bring a lot to the venue, man. And I want to definitely see what that's going to be about too, man.
Well, bottom line is she the one jumping it off, but 30 people already threw their name in the mix to help out. People such as